If your current employer asked you to relocate or you were offered a job in another city, would you take it? Why is the thought of starting over or doing something new and exciting for some but nearly heart-stopping for others? Hey everyone, I'm Theresa Zech here with eXp Realty, and I've been selling real estate in Phoenix, Arizona for over 7 years now. If at any point in this video you have questions about the real estate market, click one of the book a consultation links below. You can also find my website and my email in description if you want to view all the latest properties for sale here in Phoenix, Arizona. Now let's talk about the top 10 questions to ask yourself when considering a relocation. Number 1. Can I afford it? I'm sure this seems like an obvious thing to consider, but a move, especially a big one across states, can be overwhelming financially. Honestly, you just can't budget enough for the big move. No matter how much you plan for the last minute, expenses will probably crop up, and you want to make sure you have enough saved up to more than exceed what you think you will need. Number 2, are there friends and family who live near your new location? If so, that's great. That will make the move much easier. But if you're like most people relocating and the answer is no, it can be very isolating and lonely experience at first. And if the thought of leaving your closest family and friends makes your stomach queasy, this may not be the right time for a relocation. When I moved to Phoenix, I would say it took a good year to feel like it was home. It won't happen overnight. Give it time, be patient, and explore the beautiful city in which we live. I will say now, we wish we would have done it a lot sooner. Number 3, what is the job market like there? Most people already have a job lined up before they consider moving, but not everybody does. Do you know what the job market is like before you start your move? If not, you definitely need to do your research first. Is the job market expanding, or is the industry you're in dying in the new city? Be sure to research employers and see what the market is like specifically for them in the new city. Even cultures can vary with the same company in different locations. If possible, interview current employees and get their input. Number 4, is it worth relocating for your new job? This one has to do with, you guessed it, the cost of living. The cost of living varies from state to state and can vary widely from more rural areas to large cities. Be sure to research salary expectations for comparable positions wherever you're thinking of moving to. Actually knowing such information on how much local groceries are, average rent, mortgage, gas, taxes can help you negotiate the right salary to have the same standard of living you did before you moved. Sometimes moving is the best thing for you financially because the cost of living is so much lower, like it is in Phoenix. But what if the opposite was true? Would you be willing to move if you were going to lose money? Number 5. When is the best time of year to move? This may seem like a silly thing to consider, but in different cities or housing markets, rent can actually fluctuate based on the time of year. Another consideration is the weather, where you are moving from versus where you're moving to. Are you moving in the middle of a blizzard season, for instance? Now here in Arizona, that's not a consideration, but certainly if you're moving from Wisconsin to Arizona, it still could be. If you're thinking of moving to Phoenix, Arizona and need help in navigating the real estate market, use the links below to book a consultation with me, or if you want to start browsing homes, you can click the link on my website and start getting up-to-date listings in the area. Okay, let's get back to it. Number 6, what is the real estate market like in the new area? And are there good neighborhoods? If you're used to paying $750 for rent, but the same type of place you now live goes for $1,250, you definitely want to know that up front. If you really want to move, but you're living alone, would you be willing to get roommates? Would you need to put them in place before you moved, or could you look for them after? Do you know the new area at all to where you want to stay, where you want to go, or do you need to research it first? If you know somebody already in the area, be sure to get their input about this. If not, consider finding a realtor in the new area to connect with. They can help guide you to whatever you're looking for. In addition, there's usually lots of companies who specifically can help you relocate and answer questions about where you're moving to. Use whoever you can that knows the area to figure out exactly where you want to land. It'll be much better experience from the get-go. Number 7, is the culture of the city a good fit for you? And could you actually be happy there? The same way when you chose a new home, you want to walk in and feel that it's home. You want to make sure the new city feels like home too. Different cities all have different vibes, and you want to make sure it's a good fit for you and your personality. Certainly, you want to discover what the new city has to offer and decide if it's enough for you. For instance, if you like to bike and you're used to riding your bike to work, moving to a new city with no bike paths is probably not going to make you happy. Are you a foodie or a food snob? Does a new city offer enough variety in cuisine? Number 8, what are my real reasons for making this move, and do they make sense? What is your goal? Are you trying to get away from an old life and starting a new one in a new city where no one knows you and it sounds like bliss? Are you moving for your spouse's job? Can you live with it once the decision is made? Is the move absolutely necessary, or are there other avenues you haven't explored? Number 9, do you have a backup plan if things don't work out? Let's face it, not to be a Debbie Downer, some things don't work out like we think, and if the move we were so excited decided turns out to be a mistake? Perhaps the job isn't what you thought, or a relationship changes? If that's the case, did you keep money stashed to return home and find another place to live? Moving is certainly a big adventure, and you never want to give up on it too soon, since new places bring new relationships, new opportunities, but do you have enough to keep you going through a rough patch? And number 10, what am I losing or gaining if I leave? Moving can feel like a big sacrifice, as our lives are completely turned upside down. Simply moving from one town to the next can leave you reeling, but what about state to state? Be sure to weigh all the pros and cons if you decide to move versus if you decided not to move. Take a few minutes to appreciate what you have and where you are, and then allow yourself to dream of what could be in another place. Goal setting is always a great idea to help you stay on track, whether you decide now is a good time for your move or not. If you're considering relocating to Phoenix, Arizona, I would love to help. Reach out in the comments below or book a consultation with me in the link below. Our contact information is also in the description. Subscribe to our channel to learn more about what it is like to live here in Phoenix, Arizona. Be sure to stay tuned for the next video. See you on the next one.